Hello everyone, this is Jack from Ancient Lore Quest. Today I'm taking you to Veii, or Veio, an ancient Etruscan city that was part of Dodecapolis. Our journey begins at the Mola Waterfall. A name whose origin is quite self-explanatory, as you can see from this picture. The waterfall appears to be man-made, or at least the end of the Etruscan seems evident in its design, almost perfectly shaped with a deliberate passage left open. In the final part of this video, we'll take a closer look at some more details. The hike is easy for those who are at least somewhat used to walking, but finding all the spots we're going to see is not quite as simple. Continuing along the path on foot, we came across Ponte Sodo, one of the most enchanting spots on the route. Looking at the tunnel, the end of the Etruscans is clearly visible on both the walls and the ceiling. Also called the Tyrrhenians, Herodotus was the first to mention the Etruscans in the 5th century BC, within his histories. Herodotus tells that Attis, son of Manes, had to deal with a famine in Lydia that lasted for years, eventually forcing the population to reduce its numbers. So he decided to split them in two, entrusting his son Tyrsenus with the part of people that would have to find their fortune elsewhere. Thus, the people of Lydia, or rather half of them, led by Tyrsenus, arrived near the Umbrians and settled in those lands until at least the time of Herodotus, according to his accounts. They took the name from the leader who brought them to safety, becoming from that day the Tyrrhenians. Tyrrhenia is a very important name. It's very important historically, of course, but even in the myth. It's how Plato called one of the colonies of Atlantis. A detail that strikes me deeply, and that we can notice by looking at this photo, is that even after 2600 years, everything still seems intentionally designed and perfectly integrated into the natural surroundings. I hope you are enjoying the view, and let's take a look at one last photo of the wonderful Ponte Sodo location before moving along the path in Veii. I want to draw your attention to some large stones on the left. They may have been man-made. Could they have fallen from above in ancient times? And now we are at the Etruscan tomb known as the Campana tomb, which features two sphinxes on either side, apparently originating from Perugia. We first observe the one on the left and then the one on the right. Finally, we take a look at what must have once been the magnificent passage leading to this tomb. The view is a bit ruined by the metal gate and roof, which are however necessary. Now we are moving to the next location, that is the Cascata del Fosso degli Olmetti. I'll read you another part taken from the website ancientlorequest.com. Another historical narrator, Hellanicus, identifies the Etruscans with the Pelasgians, another people of mysterious origin about whom we know little. It's reasonable to assume that Etruscans likely descended from multiple peoples, but two mythological elements make them even more fascinating. The journey of Aeneas after the fall of Troy, which brought him to those Tyrrhenian coasts, and the account in Plato's Timaeus, narrated by Critias, Plato's uncle. Through a chain of retellings, Critias learns a story that had been told to Solon by a priest of Sais who, while referring to the legendary Atlantis, claims that its colonies once extended all the way to Tyrrhenia, namely Etruria.
Okay guys, were the Etruscans able to build arcs inside the mountain? Yes. So this is for my American friends. I see often some of you publish pictures of American mountains, but many officially sustain that are natural walls. Here we have the proof that an ancient civilization about 800, 700 and mainly 600 before Christ were able to create structures like this one. Let's see if I can go closer without falling in the water. Yeah. There is a path. It's pretty impressive, guys. Really cool. Okay, this was excavated by Etruscans, guys. Amazing. Now I have to be very careful here because okay. Entering from outside, you don't see so much wealth, so you need to be very, very careful.
We know that the Etruscans in their art incorporated very concrete and realistic elements. They cared about representing their reality. From their artistic depictions we can observe that, as in the Sardinian Nuragic culture, the Etruscans also seem to accommodate at least two phenotypes within their society. Some individuals were taller, with light hair and light eyes, while others were slightly shorter and stockier, in other words, more Mediterranean in appearance. Another interesting element is the importance they too, like many other peoples around the world, seem to attribute to the shape of the skull, which was sometimes slightly elongated. This can be seen in certain museums in Tuscany, where intentionally elongated skulls are on display, probably because this feature was considered noble. The slightly almond-shaped eyes and the elongated skull, for example, recall the image of Pharaoh Akhenaten, his consort and his daughters. We have no certainty, of course, but who knows? Perhaps a part of the Etruscan population belonged to that same lineage once considered noble. While we are observing once again the incredible ability of Etruscans to dig inside tuff to create marvelous corridors and inside rock structures, we are going back to our starting point and again to the Cascata della Mola. From here we can view better maybe that this is a man-made structure, and let's see where the water falls. Really impressive. And again, even closer, we can conclude that it was probably carved. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please subscribe to the channel, give it a like and turn on notifications.